Hello everyone, we are from Group 7 and would like to present on the topic of global public health as part of our midterm test. Let me to introduce the members of our group, which consists of only two people, myself, Haikal Fadilah, and Chandra Adli Lukmantaro. Let's look at the material. So guys, in this material we have an introduction, current global health challenge, the role of global organization, the importance of collaboration, future direction and global public health, and then the conclusion. Next, first, uh, we have definition of global public health. Global public health is the science and practice of improving health and achieving health equality worldwide. It involves preventing disease, promoting health, and extending life through organized cross-border efforts that involve government, organization, and communities around the world. Next, the importance in today's interconnected world. Global public health is crucial today as the world becomes more interconnected. Diseases can cross border rapidly due to international travel and trade, making health issues in one region a potential threat worldwide. Addressing global public health challenge collaboratively helps prevent the spread of disease, manage health emergencies, and improve health outcome universally. Uh, the global public health is the science of protecting and improving the health of people worldwide, that focusing on health issues that transcend national borders. In our increasingly interconnected world, the health of one nation can significantly impact the health of another. This makes global public health not just an individual or national concern, but the shared responsibility. Next, the current global health challenge. First, the infectious disease. Infectious disease such as COVID-19, HIV or AIDS, and malaria remain a significant threat. These diseases affect millions globally, often in low and middle income countries where healthcare infrastructure may be limited. COVID-19 underscored the need for strong public health systems and rapid response to disease outbreaks. The second one, the non-communicable disease or NCDs. NCDs, including heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, are rising worldwide. These are often linked to lifestyle factors like poor diet, lack of physical activity, and smoking. NCDs are now the leading cause of death globally, and managing this disease is a significant focus of public health efforts. And next one, health inequalities and disparities. Health inequalities mean that marginalized groups often face higher health risk and have less access to health care. Disparities in health outcomes are seen along socioeconomic line, with poor population typically suffering from worse health outcomes, reducing these inequalities in central to global health. So the current global health challenge, as we look at the state of global health today, we face numerous challenges. Infectious diseases remain a significant threat. As we saw with the COVID-19 pandemic, diseases like HIV, AIDS, and malaria continue to affect millions, particularly in low-income countries. Additionally, non-communicable diseases such as heart disease and diabetes are on the rise, often linked to lifestyle factors. Perhaps most importantly, health inequalities persist, with marginalized communities often facing the greatest burdens. And the next material will explain by Chandra.
Okay, now I will continue the explanation from Heckel. The role of global organization. Jadi peran dari organisasi secara global ya. The first one is World Health Organization or WHO. The WHO sets global health standards, coordinates international responses to health emergencies, and provides technical support to countries in improving their health system. It plays a crucial role in coordinating global health responses and setting guidelines for best practices. The second one is Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC. The CDC, based in the United States, supports global disease monitoring and prevention and control. It provides expertise and resources to help other countries manage health threats and strengthen their public health capabilities. The third one is non-governmental organizations or NGOs. NGOs are critical for implementing health initiatives on the ground, often working in communities to provide healthcare, education, and support for vulnerable populations. Organizations like Doctors Without Borders and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation play substantial roles in delivering healthcare and advocating for health issues globally. Jadi di sini tuh ada tiga peran ya dari global organisasi global ya. Pertama itu ada WHO. WHO ini tentu saja dia udah punya standar kesehatan sendiri dan juga dia punya koordinasi secara internasional. WHO juga memberikan dukungan secara teknis kepada negara-negara untuk meningkatkan sistem kesehatan mereka. Lalu yang kedua ada CDC. CDC ini mendukung dengan cara monitoring penyakit, mencegah sama mengontrol. Intinya mah CDC itu dia membantu untuk manage ancaman dan juga untuk memperkuat kapabilitas public health. Lalu berikutnya yang terakhir itu ada non-governmental organization atau NGOs. NGOs itu lebih ke pelaku di lapangan ya. Kalau WHO sama di CDC itu kan di bagian perusahaannya. Nah, NGO ini yang terjun ke lapangan. Dia ini biasanya bekerjasama dengan komunitas untuk memberikan layanan kesehatan, edukasi, sama mendukung populasi yang riskan juga untuk penyakit. Okay, the next one is the importance of collaborations. International partnership and cooperation. Collaboration between countries and organizations allows for resource pooling and knowledge sharing. This international cooperation is essential for reducing health crises as no single country can combat global health threats alone. And then sharing knowledge and resources. Sharing research, data, and best practices enhance global capacity to respond to health challenges. For instance, open data sharing during the COVID-19 pandemic enabled faster vaccine development and distributions. Case studies, successful collaborations. One example of successful collaboration is the development of COVID-19 vaccines, where international research teams and pharmaceutical companies work together rapidly to create, test, and distribute vaccines. Other examples include the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria, which bring together governments, NGOs, and private sector partners to combat this disease. Oke, di slide kali ini tuh kita membahas tentang pentingnya dari kolaborasi antar negara ya. Yang pertama itu kolaborasi atau partnership antar negara ataupun organisasi itu mengizinkan resource pooling, jadi pengumpulan dana, sama bahan-bahan juga ya. Dan juga kita bisa bersharing uh, ilmu. Lalu yang kedua itu ada di bagian sharing knowledge sama resource-nya ya. Kan yang pertama tadi kan kasih izin. Nah, yang kedua ini kita baru melakukannya. Kita sharing hasil research-nya, hasil penelitian kita, data, dan juga praktisi-praktisi terbaik ini juga meningkatkan respon terhadap tantangan-tantangan kesehatan. Contohnya kayak pas COVID-19, pandemi COVID-19 kemarin itu kita kan vaksinnya itu cepet ya. Nah, perkembangannya itu cepat sama distribusinya. Lalu yang ketiga itu ada case studies, successful collaboration. Nah, seperti yang saya bilang tadi, contohnya ini di pengembangan vaksin COVID-19, di mana tim ilmuwan internasional itu bekerja sama dengan perusahaan farmasi untuk membuat, mengetes, dan mendistribusikannya. And next one is future direction and global public health. The first one is emphasis on preventive care. There's a growing focus on preventive care to reduce the incidence of disease before they become widespread. Preventive care involves promoting healthy lifestyles, vaccination, and screening programs to detect disease early. Second one is addressing climate change and its health impacts. Climate change poses significant health risks, including extreme weather events, poor air quality, and threats to food security. Public health efforts are increasingly focused on addressing these risks through adaptation strategies and advocating for climate-resilient health systems. The third one is innovation in healthcare technology. Technological advancements such as telemedicine, artificial intelligence, and digital health tracking can increase healthcare access and improve outcomes. These technologies also help the core system respond more effectively to health crisis. Jadi di slide ini maksudnya kita pengen tahu kemana sih arahnya ke depannya itu kita mau kemana. Yang pertama ini kita harus fokus dulu nih yang namanya pencegahan ya kan, emphasis on preventive care adalah pencegahan. Kita kan sebagian kita tahu pencegah itu lebih baik daripada mengobati. Jadi kita harus fokus ke mencegah dulu sebelum itu menyebar. Caranya bisa dengan cara promosi gaya hidup sehat, vaksinasi, sama screening program untuk mendeteksi penyakit lebih dini. Yang kedua itu addressing climate change and its health impacts. Jadi kita tuh harus tahu uh, apa sih perubahan iklim itu, impact-nya itu apa sih terhadap kesehatan kita. Kita harus bisa mendeteksi itu. Dan yang ketiga itu ada innovation and healthcare technology. Nah, yang ketiga ini bukan cuma manusia yang harus mempelajari tentang kesehatan. Jadi sebenarnya teknologi juga sangat berperan di bidang kesehatan ini. Terutama di bidang telemedicine, obat-obatan, artificial intelligence, AI, dan digital health tracking itu untuk melacak kesehatan secara digital, ya kan? Itu bisa meningkatkan akses layanan kesehatan dan meningkatkan hasil secara total. Teknologi juga bisa membantu respon secara efektif terhadap krisis kesehatan juga ya. Oke, the last one is conclusion atau kesimpulan. The first one is call to action for individuals and communities. Sesuai namanya, kita itu harus aksi secara individual maupun secara komunitas. Dengan aksi ini kita itu sebenarnya udah mendukung effort-effort usaha dari global public health. Mungkin dengan cara kita bikin kebijakan untuk melindungi, untuk menjaga kesehatan. Kita juga bisa mendukung vaksinasi, maybe dengan cara sukarela bisa, atau juga dengan menerapkan gaya hidup sehat. Jadi sebenarnya semua orang ini berperan dalam menciptakan dunia yang lebih sehat. Lalu yang kedua ada the importance of investing in global public health. Nah, di sini tuh kita ngebahas tentang apa pentingnya investasi di bidang kesehatan. Jadi investasi di bidang kesehatan itu kita tuh sebenarnya meningkatkan kemampuannya untuk mendeteksi, mencegah, dan merespon terhadap krisis kesehatan yang dimana kita ini pengen dimana dunia itu menjadi lebih sehat, bukan dunia, lebih ke masyarakat kita ini menjadi lebih sehat dan lebih kebal terhadap penyakit. Jadi investasi ini juga sebenarnya bukan cuma untuk meningkatkan kesehatan secara total juga ya, tapi ini juga untuk melindungi generasi generasi di masa yang akan datang. Oke, maybe that's all from me. Thank you for your attention and assalamualaikum.